Well, hello there. Good morning. It's Breeda Miller. It's Friday. Yay. I'm here today. Pretty excited to talk to you. I've been up early. I had a call with some pals in the UK, and for them, it's midday. They're ready to go, and it was pretty early for me. So it's a hat day. Um, so I have a couple of things I want to share with you. One is the most requested technique or mental mind game that people ask me about when I speak to groups and when I share with them. So I want to share that with you. And I did talk about it a long time ago, but who doesn't need a refresher? Or maybe you missed that 10 at 10. And then there was a post this morning about a phenomenal writer. She was so big in the 60s and early 70s. She passed away a long time ago, but her imprint on the hearts and the minds of Americans and people all over the world is still alive and well today, and that is Irma Bombeck. She started out as a writer, I think in Chicago. Well, not started there, but a small Midwestern newspaper, and then grew to become a nationally syndicated columnist. Wrote many books. She was a humorist, a truth teller, and a woman just so full of wisdom. So she wrote a piece at the end of her life that is so profound. And at the end of our little chat here this morning, I will share it with you. So first of all, I want to talk to you about my little mug here. So I've been doing the big purge and the clean out. And this mug is actually not mine. It belongs to my husband, Jim. And Jim, not right now because they're closed, but he works with a special program with adults with cognitive and physical disabilities. And there's one young woman who is in the group who loves him, and she has a nickname for everybody. And one day she just came up to him and said, "You a porcupine?" And he looked back at her and he said, "No, you a porcupine." And she said, "No, you a porcupine." This goes on all day long. I mean, she might call him a porcupine 20 or 30 times a day. Well, anyway, when the staff got together and gave each other holiday gifts, look at the mug that someone bought for Jim. So it's really cute, and he's my porcupine. So anyway, I'm sharing that. But the other thing is, I'm been going through cupboards, and I found a mug, a tea mug. Actually, this was not in a cupboard. This was in a box. And at the time, you order things, you think it's a good idea. I ordered this mug, and it says Breeda's tea, custom made. Trust me, I didn't find this in a store. No, it would not happen. But it's cool. The design is you're supposed to put your tea bag here. So if you don't mind weak tea, you could reuse your tea bag. So it seemed like a good idea at the time. Well, I'm left-handed. This is a problem. So when I would go to drink tea out of this mug, it just was not working. So I don't know that I've ever used it. I don't know what to do with it because I really don't think I could donate it anywhere. I mean, who would want a mug that says Breeda's tea on it? So I don't know what to do. But yesterday was a big day. I ventured out into the city. We live near a college town in Michigan. And, I've been going through all this stuff, and all of the thrift shops, the charity shops, my favorite ones, are closed right now. And the pile's getting bigger. And then I had the idea to call a shelter for people that are surviving domestic violence, because that certainly is an issue, and it's happening. It's not waiting for the pandemic to pass us by. And I called them up and I said, "Are you accepting donations, and what do you need?" And the woman was so gracious. We had a wonderful chat. And I put together a special box of things that she told me that they could use. And she said, "Okay, here's the deal. We'll make an appointment. You can come drop it off at the loading dock, ring the doorbell, get back in your car, and I'll come out and get it. And then there'll be no contact." I said, "Perfect." The other thing was, I have a friend who owns a couple of small, phenomenal memory care homes for people living with Alzheimer's. And I thought about it and I thought, I have some DVDs that we never watch anymore, and they might be really helpful for people, for senior living communities. So DVDs and music. So I found CDs that had Patsy Cline, and I think some were my mom's World War II songs, some Frank Sinatra stuff from the 50s and 60s. I'm not really sure how we got it all, but we have it. And then DVDs, The Three Stooges, and I Love Lucy, and Andy Griffith shows, old TV shows, things that might trigger really positive memories from days gone by. Because, people that live with Alzheimer's, they lose their short-term memory, but they often keep memories from a long time ago. And music is a great way to trigger that positive memory that's stored deep within their brains, and it can be just a wonderful experience. So, anyway, I had my mask, which was made by a woman here in town, and I was ready to go. It was such an outing. It was so exciting. By the way, this mask, I got one for my daughter, and she said to me, Mom, this looks like part of a bikini top. Not for me, for her. But anyway, multi-purpose items perhaps after the pandemic is over. Anyway, so it was, I just remember getting on the freeway tomorrow with my stuff ready to coordinate and donate. And the freeway was pretty empty except for big trucks delivering stuff to the stores that are providing for us. And I just felt like I was on this big mission to go and to drop off the stuff, ring the doorbell, and run away, so there isn't any contact. But I layered a few things in there. I was able to pick up a prescription, and it had been the first time that I had really been out in about 6 weeks. I mean, I've just been to the grocery store, really has been about it. So it was a big day. I was exhausted, gotta tell you, but I felt very accomplished. So anyway, think about ways that you can help others while you help yourself at the same time. So I promised you my most popular, most requested mental mind game that has served me well. People tell me it really helps them. And if you've heard it before, brace yourself. So it's called mental bingo. And the most important thing about mental bingo is that it stays mental. Do not write this stuff down. Don't put it in your computer. No evidence. You never want to be subpoenaed by having this in a written form. So, we all have people that just bug the living stuff out of us, don't we? They say things that just annoy you. They do things that just annoy you. Some might be in your house at this moment. Maybe they're people that you work with. Maybe it's things that are on the media that make you want to throw a brick at the television when a person says a certain thing, or who knows. Yesterday I was on a call with a group and I was sharing this, and this woman said that the thing that drives her nuts is she's on these Zoom calls and these meetings, and people will just say, "I'm so busy. I'm busy. I'm so busy." And she's listening to them thinking, so, it's almost like a brag or something. I don't know, but it bothers her. It annoys her. And she asked me, is it okay if one of the things on my bingo is applicable to more than one person? Absolutely. This is your bingo. You do you. So the idea is a mental bingo card in your head, 5 spots across the top, but go crazy. If you need more and you can keep track of it, bless your heart. So have maybe it's one person that bugs you. And these are the things that they either say or do on a regular basis. You know it's coming, and every time they say it or do it, it just bugs you. Turn it around. Look forward to it. Anticipate it, saying, I wonder how long before she says, I'm so busy, or whatever it is that they say. Or it could just be different things that people say generically, different things that people do or say, and it isn't related to a specific person. Every time this happens, then you get to mentally check it off in the box. When it happens 5 times, you get to say, bingo, it's true. And it's really strangely satisfying. So keep that in mind. It's a coping mechanism. You cannot change these people. You cannot change their behavior, especially if they're not within your sphere or you're not their mom. And even then, you probably can't change much after a certain point. But think about ways that you can find positive ways that you can control how you respond to other people. And that's what it's all about. And it is amazing how when you just flip the switch a little bit, that instead of allowing it to annoy you, you're allowing it, you're saying, okay, it's out there. I'm going to brace myself and deal with it. So mental bingo, one of my favorite mental games that really help me stay positive and to stay focused and to just deal with bad behavior. Okay, I promised you Irma Bombex. So Irma Bombex, she just called it like it was and said it in such a funny, witty way. She spoke from the vantage point of a 1950s or 1960s housewife. She was talking about raising her children and cleaning the house and cooking and dealing with life, but then expanding that to other areas of life. And so she was diagnosed with cancer, and shortly after receiving her diagnosis, she wrote this piece that's quite famous, and I'd like to share it with you. It's called, If I Had My Life to Live Over. I think it's so relevant to what we are experiencing right now. We're not at the end of our life, but we are at a change. We are at a profound moment that we will remember, that we will write about, that stories will be told about how we felt, how we dealt with it, the choices we made, and the decisions that we've made moving forward. So this is Irma Bombex, If I Had My Life to Live Over. I would have gone to bed when I was sick, instead of pretending the earth would go into a holding pattern if I weren't there for a day. I would have burned the pink candle sculpted like a rose before it melted in storage. I would have talked less and listened more. I would have invited friends over to dinner even if the carpet was stained or the sofa faded. I would have eaten the popcorn in the good living room and worried much less about the dirt when someone wanted to light a fire in the fireplace. I would have taken the time to listen to my grandfather ramble about his youth. I would have shared more of the responsibility carried by my husband. I would never have insisted the car windows be rolled up on a summer day because my hair had just been teased and sprayed. I would have sat on the lawn with my grass stains. I would have cried and laughed less while watching television and more while watching life. I would never have bought anything just because it was practical and wouldn't show soil or was guaranteed to last a lifetime. Instead of wishing away 9 months of pregnancy, I'd have cherished every moment and realized that the wonderment growing inside me was the only chance in life to assist God in a miracle. When my kids kissed me impetuously, I would never have said, "Later, now go get washed up for dinner." There would have been more "I love yous" and more "I'm sorries." But mostly, given another shot at life, I would seize every minute, look at it, and really see it. Live it and never give it back. Stop sweating the small stuff. Don't worry about who doesn't like you, who has more, or who's doing what. Instead, let's cherish the relationship we have with those who love us. So Irma Bombex, If I Had My Life to Live Over. So that's what I want to leave you with this Friday. It is the first day of May. Who knew this May would be so different from any other May that we have experienced. We may be in the same boat on June 1, maybe not. Maybe things will have changed and we'll be able to venture out a bit more, being considerate of others and staying safe. I wish you well. Have a wonderful weekend. Try to do something different Saturday and Sunday that you do Monday through Friday so that you can be fresh and just have a nice way to break things up. And Charlie's telling me somebody's at the door, so I gotta go. I will see you on Monday. Take care. This is Breeda Miller with another Breeda Break.